Hey there, you fabulous folks. I hope your day has been absolutely awesome. We're back for another exciting episode of What If Naruto Was the Conqueror of the Shinobi World. A big shout out to the amazing author behind this fanfiction and show them some love. You'll find their details in the description box below. If this what if scenario is getting your imagination going, drop a comment down below and share your thoughts. And don't forget to explore more mind-blowing what ifs on the channel. Alright, without further ado, let's jump right into this video. Ow. As he was returning back to the secret camp of the rebellion, his mind returned back to Uchiha Itachi. Everything he said, Ao felt a shiver from his words alone. He mentally wanted to kick himself for being caught off guard that easily from him. He should have been able to see him, especially his words when he tried to escape his Tsukiyomi. Ao panicked seeing Itachi, immediately activating his Byakugan. The Uchiha butcher didn't look impressed. That little toy in your eye socket doesn't work against me, Itachi simply stated before narrowing his right eye. Much to Ao's confusion, he kept his left eye closed all the time. Now, I believe may send you here, Itachi started. Sama, Ao added. Itachi just looked at his with a raised eyebrow. She's Mei-sama, she will be Kage after the rebellion ends, Ao finished. In his eyes, Mei was someone who loved her people, and would give everything for them. There's only one person in this world that I would call Sama, and Mei is not that one. Ao escaped his thoughts hearing the voice of the scouting group landing in front of him. Ao-san, Mei-sama sent us to inform you that she needs a report immediately, the leader of the scout group stated. Ao felt a headache as a sigh escaped his lips. Let's hope I survive this. Konoha. Naruto was lying naked on his bed, Anko resting her head on his chest, a smile on her face, her naked body pressed tightly against him. Naruto quite liked the feeling of her. She was warm, nice, enjoyable to talk with, funny, sometimes, but the best part was her sadistic side. Naruto quite enjoyed it. That was something Anko appreciated. Last night, they had been loud for hours until Anko got exhausted and decided to sleep. Thankfully Naruto knew Fuinjutsu, therefore a silent seal blocked all her screams and moans. The office of the Hokage. Naruto, his sensei, Ino, and Shika were summoned by the Hokage on a mission some days after the events with the Land of Tea. He summoned us, Hokage-sama, Asuma said as he, Ino, Shika, and Naruto walked into the room. Yes, I did, and I appreciate you everyone arriving so promptly. So, what do you need us for, Hokage-sama? Ino inquired. I summoned you all because I have a crucial task for which I need your assistance. Naruto was happy to hear this, while Shikamaru groaned in frustration. Ino hoped it wasn't long since she had some business with Anko. Of course, Asuma remained more solemn, knowing that given the seriousness of the Hokage, there was more to this than a simple task. Asuma said, and what precisely is the task, Hokage-sama? The task entails sending you to Wave Country to assist Kakashi and his team in protecting a bridge builder called Tazuna, Sarutobi said. Excuse me, Hokage-sama, but why are you sending us to accompany Kakashi and his squad on a mission that is plainly a C-rank task? Asuma said after hearing this. He continued, surely Kakashi can manage everything that may happen on a C-rank assignment. Normally, I would agree with you, Asuma, the old Hokage said, but this is not your average C-rank assignment, since it seems that the client Tazuna lied to us when he asked our help. How Hokage-sama? Asuma inquired. According to Kakashi's communication, it seems that Tazuna is being pursued by a guy named Gato. Gato? As in Gato Corporation, the rich shipping mogul and boss of the shipping company. Naruto inquired. The same, however, according to current information, Gato's export and import firm is a cover for importing illicit products and selling narcotics. As a consequence of this, Gato has become one of the wealthiest individuals on the continent. Ino, Asuma, Shika, and Naruto all nodded their heads in agreement at this point, and Naruto then spoke out. How is he connected to this mission, Hokage-sama? Naruto wondered. Well, it seems that Gato has established his headquarters in Wave Country, since the country is strategically located for maritime commerce between Fire Country and the majority of the other island countries. He then utilized his shipping monopoly to gain control of the nation's economy, enabling him to gradually gain control of the country. Tazuna, on the other hand, is threatening all of this with the bridge he is constructing to link Wave County to the mainland, which would end Gat's stranglehold on Wave Country. As a result, he has hired a bunch of shinobi to kill Tazuna, the Sandaime said. If that's true, why didn't he reveal the truth? We could have sent a squad more suited to the task than a group of genin and their sensei, Asuma said. According to Kakashi's message, Tazuna-san and his workers spent most of their remaining money on the equipment and supplies required to construct the bridge, leaving them with little money to seek a higher-ranked task, which is why he lied when he sought our assistance. So what did Kakashi do on the assignment that caused him to call for backup? Asuma wondered, knowing that Kakashi was no pushover, and that he would require support if he did. Well, it seems that Kakashi and his crew were attacked by the demon brothers, Zu and Maizu. Well, after that, he and his squad continued on with the assignment, but when they arrived on Wave Country, they met Momochi Zabuza, the legendary demon of the hidden mist. Asuma's eyes widen when he hears this since he has heard about Kiri's fabled Nukenin. Even Naruto had heard of the former member of the 7 Shinobi Swordsmen of the Mist, who had led a failed assassination on Yondaime Mizukage, and had been forced to escape. Naruto secretly smirked at this. He had already planned to send clones to locate him and get access to Kiri's rebellion army. With him, the blonde could easily acquire Mate Rumi's confidence by assisting her in the rebellion. Murdering Yagura would give him Kiri's allegiance and the Bijuu in his hands. With that done, 1 out of 5 big powers would be in his hands. That left only Suna and Kumo. Asuma murmured to himself, the demon of the hidden mist. No surprise Kakashi asked for support. You don't have to worry about Zabuza, Sarutobi said, since Kakashi reported that he fought him with the assistance of his team, after which Zabuza was slain by a hunter nin who had been monitoring Zabuza. This startled the 4 shinobi, particularly Naruto, who understood that the only way Sasuke and the others could have aided Kakashi in any manner was if they collaborated. This surprised him since he hadn't expected Sasuke to cooperate with his teammates, much alone that they could work together in the first place. But why do we need to help the Kakashi squad if Zabuza is dead? Naruto inquired, intrigued, as though there was more to this. Although Zabuza is no longer alive, we can be positive that he and the demon brothers were the only ones paid by Gat to kill Tazuna. This is why I'm asking you all to rally behind him and Team 7, since Kakashi was severely weakened after his fight, even with Zabuza dealt with, who was most certainly the biggest danger. For a time, Kakashi will be unable to protect Tazuna, the Sandaime said. Although Asuma abruptly spoke out again, the 4 shinobi nodded again in agreement. Permit me to ask, Hokage-sama, why are you sending us on this assignment, since this is clearly something for a more senior group? Asuma inquired. Normally, I would do so, but our troops are so small that sending a more senior squad would weaken our defenses, so I'm sending you 3. Whatever happens on this assignment, I'm certain you'll be able to manage it with Kakashi's support. While Naruto, as you both know, is already a proficient shinobi capable of— Asuma just nodded after hearing this, and he, Shika, Ino, and Naruto exited the room to prepare for their mission, which they left the town for Nami no Kuni 2 hours later. After 3 days, the Konoha boat had finally reached the land of waves, and Team 10 was preparing to depart for their second mission. This is where I'll drop you all off. Be careful now. The sailor wished them. Always do, Taioki. And thanks, Asuma said with a wave. Thank you, Taioki-san, Ino said with a respectful bow. Yeah, thanks a bunch, Shikamaru said lazily. Team 10 then jumps off the boat and landing on the beach. The sea vessel then began to sail away back to Konoha, leaving them on the sandy ground of the land of waves. Alright, let's head to the bridge builder's house. Team 7 should probably be there by now. Asuma ordered his team. Do we have a location? Naruto asked. Yes, his home address was included in the scroll. Let's get going. Asuma said, as he began to lead his team to the bridge builder's house. The bridge builder's house, nighttime. As Team 10 finally made it to the small yet very comfortable looking house, they then knocked on the front door. It took a couple of seconds until somebody finally answered. It was Sasuke with a kunai at hand, as his guard was up and preparing for an intruder. But his guard immediately lowered when he saw the Konoha team in front of him. Greetings, Sasuke said, somewhat irritated, so you're the ones that the Hokage has dispatched to help us. Correct, Asuma said, could you kindly bring us to Kakashi? Sasuke just nodded and led them inside the home. When Asuma, Ino, Shika, and Naruto followed Sasuke inside the home, they saw a young lady in a tiny kitchen, most likely preparing the group's evening food. They then saw an elderly guy sipping sake at a table, most likely the bridge builder Tazuna. Sakura was busy doing nothing, and Sasuke was presumably daydreaming about the day he would murder Itachi. When Naruto and his companions came, the young lady in the kitchen looked around and grinned, saying, "Oh. Are they the newcomers who Kakashi-san stated would arrive to assist?" "Indeed, we are," Asuma answered. The woman's grin widened as she said, "Then you have our gratitude. My name is Tsunami. It's great to meet you. My name is Asuma, and here is my team. Uzumaki Naruto, Ino Yamanaka, and Shikamaru Nar. It's great to meet you all. Please make yourself at home. I'll get some more things ready for supper," Tsunami said. "Thank you, it is really good of you," Ino said respectfully, drawing a snort from Sakura. "What brings you here?" "Things were within our control." Sasuke, visibly enraged, takes a step forward, much to Team 10's chagrin. "Kakashi, send assistance. It is not your place to question your Jonin's orders, boy," Asuma said coldly, sending chills through Team 7. "We are alive," Sasuke answered proudly. "Kakashi got trapped, and I battled Zabuza alone," the boy boasted. "And you unfortunately survived," Naruto countered irritably. Sasuke took a step towards Naruto, as Ino and Shika chuckled. "Enough of this, boy, leave us," Asuma said sternly. Sasuke clenched his teeth and walked away, closely followed by Sakura. Asuma inquired about Kakashi, to which Tsunami pointed to the room next to them, indicating that Kakashi was there. Upstairs, Kakashi's and Choji's bedside. Kakashi and Choji are now lying on their beds with blankets over them. Choji was unconscious, as Kakashi was struggling to stay awake. "Alright Kakashi-san, I have done all I can, but you and Choji just need some time to rest." Tsunami informs them, as she finished bandaging Choji's left shoulder. Shikamaru looked at the unconscious form of his chubby best friend, and couldn't help but feel worried. He had never seen Choji so injured before. Is Choji going to be okay? Shikamaru asked with worry in his voice. He's just exhausted. Some minor bruises and cuts, but nothing too serious. He might be out for a while, but we will never know. In the meantime, I'll go downstairs to prepare dinner. Tsunami said with a warm smile, at the idea of cooking so much food for all her guests. She always loved cooking, and she greatly appreciates when people enjoy her food. But oddly enough, the mention of food was some sort of coma cure for a certain Akamichi. Dinner? Where? Choji yelled out, as he suddenly awakens from his slumber, startling everyone in the room. Wow, that's one way to wake someone up. Ino said in disbelief. Thank you, Tsunami-san, for your hospitality. You are too kind. Asuma said with a warm smile for the pretty-looking woman. Not at all, Asuma-san. It is the least I could do. After all, you are all here to protect my father and help our land. I am very grateful. Tsunami said with her own smile. Tsunami, I would like to discuss some things with them before dinner. Would you mind giving us the room? The bridge builder, now named Tazuna, asked his daughter. Of course, Dad, if you need anything, just let me know. Tsunami said, as she exits the room, leaving Tazuna alone with the 2 jonins and 6 genins. Naruto then walks up to the bedridden silver-haired jonin, with a concerned look in his eyes. He's Kakashi Naisen, you look like shit, Naruto commented, concerned for his big brother. Haha, nice to see you too, Naruto. I heard you completed your first C-rank mission. Congratulations. Kakashi said with a nice smile. Not just any C-rank mission, a C-rank turn A-rank mission. Now we are here to make it 2 for 2. Naruto said with a confident tone. So, Zabuza Mamachiha, tell us what happened. Asuma asked his fellow Jonin sensei. Well, Kakashi then explained their entire situation from the very beginning. About their first enemy ninja encounter with Gozu and Maizu aka the Demon Brothers. Tazuna admitting that he lied about the mission parameters due to lack of funds. Bato's dictatorship over the land. And finally their fateful battle with the infamous demon of the hidden mist Zabuza Mamachi, an A-rank missing nin from Kirigakure, and one of the legendary 7 ninja swordsmen. In the past, Kakashi had fought against many powerful foes and won, but the odds were not in his favor in this battle. Zabuza had the geological advantage given his elemental affinity for water, and Kakashi had to worry about protecting his team along with Tazuna. He even told them that he was caught in Zabuza's water prison jutsu, much to his bitter disappointment for himself. If it wasn't for the combined efforts of Sasuke and Choji, Kakashi would have never escaped the dense water bubble without drowning. While Sasuke dealt with Zabuza's surprisingly strong water clone, Choji used his human boulder jutsu to leap into the air, and was sent crashing down towards the original Zabuza, who was still trapping Kakashi. But the rogue swordsman used his giant sword, the Kubakira Bacho, to block Choji's boulder form, with just the sheer raw strength of his only free arm. But with both of his hands occupied, Zabuza was left vulnerable for Sasuke, as the Uchiha fired his fireball jutsu straight towards him, causing him to let go of the water prison, and freeing Kakashi, otherwise risk being burned alive. But Choji got hurt when he collided with Zabuza's sword, as he could feel some part of his skin was cut by the sharp edges of the giant blade. Kakashi and Zabuza then fought with all their might. The silver-haired Jonin even managed to copy 2 of the rogue swordman's water jutsus with his Sharingan. In the end, Kakashi was the victor, as he pinned Zabuza against a tree with several kunes. But when Kakashi was about to finish the rogue swordsman off, a Kiri hunter ninja suddenly appeared and threw several senbons at Zabuza's neck, killing him instantly. The hunter then took Zabuza's body and shunshin away. Afterwards, Kakashi collapsed from chakra exhaustion, due to the overwhelming drain from his Sharingan. One of the many risks of having it transplanted Ojutsu. And that's it. Kakashi finished his story. Asuma then placed his finger under his chin, as he couldn't help but think about what Kakashi had just told him. But there is one thing that concerns me, Kakashi said, as he looked at Asuma and then at Naruto. The trio nodded at each other in agreement, as they all had reached the same conclusion. Zabuza is still alive. Kakashi, Asuma and Naruto spoke in unison. What? How could he still be alive, Kakashi-sensei? You checked his pulse yourself. Sakura said with fear in her voice. Kakashi Naisen said the hunter ninja used senbons Naruto started, which is an odd weapon for assassination. And if used properly, it can target a person's nerve point, sending them into death-like state, Asuma added. Also, it is essential for the hunter ninja to destroy their target's body on the spot. Except the head, as they are required to remove it from the body, to bring back to the village as proof of their target's demise, Kakashi added. The hunter ninja took Zabuza's body away, instead of doing it then and there. That was a red flag already. Naruto finished. So, does that mean Ino asked? The hunter ninja is working with Zabuza, Kakashi, Asuma and Naruto said in unison once again. What do we do, sensei? Choji asked with a bit of fear in his voice. Well, Zabuza's nervous system is probably still damaged from the Senbon attack, and he is without a doubt suffering from chakra exhaustion. I say we have about 7 days to prepare for him. Kakashi informed them. So what do we do until then? Shikamaru asked. We train, of course, Kakashi said with a nice smile. Meanwhile, elsewhere. Damn that Kakashi. It's been a while since I fought someone that strong. Zabuza said while limping. Are you alright, Zabuza-sama? The hunter ninja asked. I'm fine, Haku. I just need some rest. Zabuza said, as he laid himself on a bed, while the hunter ninja placed a blanket over him. I'm sorry, if I had joined the fight earlier, the now identified Haku tried to apologize, but was interrupted. I told you that I can handle it myself. You did what you were told and stayed put. So I can't be mad at you for that, Zabuza said. Well, in the meantime, I'll go find some herbs and medicine to help you recover faster. It will take a while for your nerves to fully heal, Haku said. Good. And remember to tell anyone I encounter that I'm a boy. I know. I still don't understand why I have to do that though, Zabuza-sama. Haku asked with her monotone voice. This world is full of degenerates, Haku. And our current employer is the biggest one of them all. By saying those 3 words alone, you will scare them away immediately, Zabuza said, with a surprisingly fatherly tone, which did not go unnoticed. Very well. Thank you for your concern, Zabuza-sama. Haku said with gentle smile. I'm just making sure that you don't draw any unwanted attention to yourself. That is all, Zabuza said as he closed his eyes. Very well. I'll be back soon, Haku said, as she got up from her chair and headed to her room to change into her civilian clothes. Be safe, Haku, Zabuza said under his breath, with a bit of concern in his voice, for his surrogate daughter. The morning after, the members of Team 7, together with Ino, Shika, Naruto, and Asuma, prepared to undertake some training the following morning in a small area in the Nami no Kuni forests. Team 10 and Asuma-sensei discovered that Kakashi had yet to teach Sasuke and the others tree climbing, while they were deciding what to train Team 7 in last night. Tree climbing should have been taught in the 2nd week of taking in a team, or at the very least before the squad went on a C-rank task, which astonished Asuma. Of course, Asuma chastised Kakashi for not teaching his pupils something so fundamental and crucial sooner. Of course, Kakashi attempted to justify his absence by claiming that he had been busy teaching his squad to work together. Normally, such justifications would not hold water, but given how terribly the members of Team 7 got along with one another, and how they couldn't work together until just a few days ago, they did. Asuma understood Kakashi's point of view, but he nevertheless chastised Kakashi for not instructing his crew how to climb in threes before embarking on this operation. Tsunami made sure Kakashi didn't do anything too rigorous while he was at Tazuna's house, so he could relax and recuperate more quickly. Normally, Kakashi would use this time to read one of his Icha books, so this would not be an issue. However, as Naruto was doing his examination on Kakashi, he removed the book from him, indicating that he needed to concentrate on his recovery, rather than reading his book. Although Naruto claims that he is stealing Kakashi's book as a punishment for not teaching his trainees how to climb trees before they embarked on the assignment. Now that we're all here and know what we're going to do for the next several days, I think we should provide a demonstration of how to accomplish tree climbing. Would you want to teach them how it's done, Naruto? Asuma said this as he turned to Naruto. Naruto nodded and began channeling his chakra to his feet, while explaining everything to Sasuke and the others. He just went up the tree and up to a huge thick branch on a high portion of the tree, after he had done describing what to do to the others. When Sasuke and Sakura saw this, they were both startled, since they had never seen anything like what Naruto was doing before. Choji claps for Naruto, making Ino snicker. After Naruto demonstrated how to accomplish it, he rapidly leapt to the ground, prompting Asuma to tell the other 3 genin to try it as well. Of course, the 3 genin nodded, and they each picked their own tree, channeled their chakra to their feet, and tried to climb the tree. Sakura walked up the tree she had picked without trouble on the first try, which came as no surprise to Asuma, who had read Sakura's academy report, which revealed she had perfect control over her chakra. Sasuke, on the other hand, was having trouble climbing the tree, falling to the ground after just a few steps, whether it was from pouring too much or too little chakra to his feet, in order to hold himself on the tree. Shika decided to give Choji a few points here and there, since he was having difficulties channeling enough chakra. Asuma decided to send Naruto and Sakura to watch Tazuna, while he and his men constructed the bridge, seeing that Sakura had previously practiced tree climbing. Of course, both genins nodded, as if doing what Asuma requested was no trouble, and they went together towards the bridge. Ino was irritated because she had hoped to spend some time with Naruto, but Asuma had other ideas. Soon after, Asuma returned to protect Tazuna's family, in case Gato's men attempted to abduct them and compel Tazuna to comply, leaving Shikamaru to keep an eye on Sasuke and Choji. After a hard day, the members of Team 7 and Team 10 sat down to have supper with the Tazuna family at a tiny table in the living room. Kakashi, who was now healthy enough to go about a bit, and Inari, Tazuna's grandson, who mostly kept to himself, were also among the group. Naruto and Sakura had spent the most of the day atop the bridge, protecting Tazuna and his crew. Naruto even assisted in the construction of the bridge by creating clones to assist the laborers. Shikamaru also kept an eye on Choji and Sasuke as they practiced tree climbing, where Sasuke was making solid and steady progress, having already climbed half of the tree before falling. Choji was on the same level as him. Inari had maintained his distance from Naruto and the others for the last several days, despite Naruto, Sakura, and Ino all attempting to befriend or converse with the small child. But if one of them would try, he would demand them to leave, and then rush away weeping. When they inquired as to what was wrong with Inari, Tazuna proceeded to tell them about Inari's stepfather Kaiza, who had attempted to stand up to Gato and his thugs, but had been beaten and murdered in front of everyone by Gato's men. Sakura tried to strike up a conversation with Ino by asking how Sasuke and Choji were doing in their training when they were all eating supper together. Of course, Ino responded that they were both progressing, but that neither of them had reached the pinnacle. As Sakura and Ino continued to converse, Inari abruptly interrupted them. "What's the point of it all? You'll all die regardless. None of you can defeat Gato. He's just too powerful. You will die. We all bloody die except this one here." Naruto deadpanned before pointing to Sasuke, who grinned. "He's a Uchiha lead, he can die," he added sarcastically, to the delight of his teammates, with the exception of Sasuke, who hissed angrily at Naruto. Slam. They came to a halt as Inari smacked his hands on the table, making a loud bang, and then glared at each of them. "No, you're mistaken. You're all going to die because you have no idea how it is for us here, and no one can overcome Gato," the tiny kid screamed. After hearing this, Sasuke grimaced at Inari's outburst and was ready to react, saying that a weakling like him wouldn't know anything about them, when Naruto interrupted him. "Don't pretend like you know anything about us, brat," Naruto said, "because we're a lot stronger than you think, and we have no intention of dying to filth like Gato. All of this obscene training is a waste of time. Gato has an entire army. They're going to beat you down and destroy you. These interesting things you all say mean nothing. The strong always win, and the weak always lose, no matter what you do." Inari screamed. "Listen, child, I'm well aware of your father's." Naruto was attempting to empathize when he was abruptly stopped. "Why don't you just shut up? I'm sick of looking at you. This is a country about which you know nothing. You are just always laughing and playing. You have no idea what it's like to suffer, to lose people you love, none of you do." The room became quiet almost instantly. Ino, Kakashi, and Asuma all stared at Naruto at the same time, and they could see he was emitting a little trace of his deadly intent. More killing intent was released as Naruto's eyes were abruptly clouded. His eyes were hidden from his hair. "Listen up, you whiny little scumbag. We're not going to quit simply because some wealthy jerk with an army of unskilled thugs threatens to murder us. And how dare you make assumptions about myself or my teammates that we have no idea what it's like to suffer. Fuck you." Naruto screamed and rushed over to Inari. Everyone, even Sasuke, was becoming a bit frightened. Ino wanted to comfort him, but she realized he was boiling right now. "Calm down, Naruto." Kakashi attempted, but failed, to soothe his younger brother. "No? He's the one who doesn't understand jack shit about suffering. I'm sad to hear about your father. Gato's treatment towards him was torture, but you still have your mother. Your grandfather is still with you. Meals cooked in your own kitchen. A comfortable house to return to. I grew up by myself. I did not have a family to return to. I was thrown out of stores. On my birthday, I was beaten by drunks. I was hated for something over which I had no control. Do you know how it feels to be hungry? For 6 months, I was on the streets. I was not even allowed to eat from the garbage by the people. Do you know what it's like to feel that even eating dirt would be worth it?" Naruto screamed in an outburst of wrath. Inari's face was flushed, and tears threatened to spill from his eyes. "It's not just me either. Sasuke had lost everyone in his family. Before he was even an adult, Kakashi Naisen lost everyone he had ever cared about. So, you little asshole, shut the fuck up. Do something about the pain and suffering if you want it to end. Man up and stop being a little bitch. You are nothing but a coward otherwise." "Enough with this, Naruto," Asuma stated with a strict tone. Naruto was still enraged, and he realized he had to go before killing the little child in front of him. "Where are you going?" Ino inquired, concerned. "Out. I need to get some air." As he closed the door behind him, Naruto muttered, leaving a tearful Inari and a slew of astonished friends and senseis in his wake. "Is what he stated true, sensei?" Shikamaru inquired, his gaze falling on Kakashi, who regretfully nodded. "Yes, he was skin and bones when I found him on the streets," says Kakashi. The rooftop. Naruto was now seated on the roof, attempting to cool off. He knew it was terrible to shout at the boy, but something within him broke. He had no idea he was still harboring so much rage in his heart. But he's at a loss on what to do about it. When he heard someone approaching him from behind, he was startled out of his thoughts. It was Ino, who then sat down directly next to him. Naruto just leaned in closer and placed his head on her shoulder, while she rested hers on his. Hey, Ino murmured. Hey. Naruto retaliated. I must admit, some of the things you said to Inari were rather nasty. Aren't you aware that he's simply a bumbling little kid? Ino was the one who inquired. I used to work out till my bones were shattered when I was his age. And after the third time, I didn't cry quite as much. Naruto remarked. Naruto-kun, not everyone is like you. Your dedication and desire are not shared by everyone. To be honest, I always assumed you were some kind of superhuman. With a chuckle, Ino remarked. I suppose that's true, haha. Naruto laughed weakly, but Ino could see he was still in pain. Naruto-kun, I'm concerned about you. You're not the sort to shout at anybody, much alone a child, simply because they irritate you. Why were you so irritated? My parents, I'm not sure what they think of me at times. Do they approve of what I'm doing? Would they be disappointed? Naruto admitted it. They would never be disappointed, no matter what. They'd be pleased with you. The only thing that would make them unhappy is not being able to see how bright you are, and not being able to feel your warmth and the brightness you show everywhere. Thank you, Ino-chan. Naruto then carefully raised his head from Ino's shoulder, gazing into her stunning sky-blue eyes. Her lovely creamy skin glistened in the moonlight. Her beautiful blonde hair was gently blowing in the breeze. Her gaze never strayed from his, as if she were seeing directly into his soul. Naruto believed she had the appearance of an angel. He then grabbed her soft face with his right hand and pushed his head closer to hers, kissing her on the lips. Naruto then automatically intensified the kiss by slipping the tip of his tongue into her lips and pleading with her to let him in. He forcefully grasped her slender waist and drew her into his lap. She rested both of her hands on his shoulders, while he put one hand on her waist and stroked her thigh with the other. Ino was so taken aback by the overwhelming pleasure she was experiencing that she happily opened her lips wide, allowing Naruto's tongue to explore and taste every inch of her. In a fight for supremacy, his tongue collided with hers. And, being the stamina monster that he is, Naruto was winning, as he pressed his tongue further down her neck and continued to suffocate her. Ino threw her arms around Naruto's neck and held the back of his hair with her fingers, forcing his head closer to hers, and intensifying the kiss even more. Naruto was on the verge of losing his sanity. Ino's hair smelled like wildflowers and her tongue felt delicious. He wished for the kiss to last forever, and she felt the same way. They kissed for about 7 minutes before breaking apart to get some air. Ino was panting fiercely, and her cheeks were flushed scarlet. Naruto then placed his brow on hers, staring into each other's eyes. Thank you, Ino-chan. It's my pleasure, Naruto-kun, says Ino. They remained together for a bit until Naruto got up and dusted his trousers. Listen, I'd like to go for a little run. I'm still irritated with Inari and need to vent my frustrations, Naruto remarked. Do you want me to accompany you? With hope in her eyes, Ino inquired. No, you've been training all day and need a break. Besides, I'd want to spend some time alone, Naruto said. Oh, okay, Ino expressed her dissatisfaction with the situation. Naruto bent down and kissed her forehead as a slight consolation when he saw her sorrowful tone, but it was enough to bring a grin back to her face. It'll just be for a short time, Ino-chan. Okay, I'll see you in the morning, Naruto remarked, a warm grin on his face. Alright. Make sure you don't stay out too late. Naruto couldn't help but laugh as Ino spoke in her normal dictatorial tone. As you desire, Ino. Naruto then proceeded to the wooded region where they had previously practiced, where he created a single shadow clone, who then wielded their katanas. Naruto and the clone then engaged in a kenjutsu duel. Inari is now sitting at the house's docks, clutching his legs close to his chest. He couldn't get the harsh remarks from Naruto out of his head. However, it's possible that the blonde was correct. Perhaps the youngster is a coward. But, after the death of his father, he has lost his bravery. It was difficult to be courageous in the face of the people who had taken his beloved father, whom this small boy regarded as a national hero. Inari sincerely believed that his father was invincible, and that he would always defend him. But when he witnessed his father, Kaiza, abused, broken, crucified, both limbs sliced off, and finally killed, his heart, like everyone else's in the little nation, was entirely destroyed. He just did not want anybody to suffer in the future. Because heroes don't truly exist to him. After then, Inari heard footsteps coming from behind him. Do you mind if we talk? Kakashi was the one who wanted to make sure the youngster was okay. The silver-haired woman Jonan then sat at the pier, close to the tiny child, staring out into the clear ocean. You know, Naruto is never like that. He may be a jerk at times, but overall he is one of the nicest people I've ever encountered. Even back when he was your age. And don't worry, he doesn't despise you. Your grandpa informed us about your father's death. Inari remained quiet but attentive once again. I too, lost my father when I was a child. And, like you, I was changed by his death. Since then, I've turned into a prickly jerk. But just when I thought I'd finally figured out how to make things better for myself, things became much worse as I started losing the people I cared about one by one. Was it true what Naruto said? Yes. Naruto, Sasuke, and even myself are among them. We'd all been through a lot. Ah, I see. Naruto, on the other hand, never gave up. He refuses to give up no matter how difficult life has become for him. And it was his perseverance and willpower that always managed to inspire others around him. As for me, I'd have given up hope of ever being close to anybody again, and I wouldn't have ended up with a younger brother like him. We know we're butting in, but we wanted to assist. We might have returned to our village, but your grandfather is unlikely to survive the journey. But, since it was the proper thing to do, we remained. We also requested backup to ensure that your family is safe. And a part of me knew it would be Naruto's choice. So, if he were me, what would he do right now? Inari, he was you. He was a sorrowful young guy who had many times had his heart shattered. My impression is that he was fed up with sobbing and resolved to take action. He understands what it is to be strong, despite the fact that he is young and constantly learning. The same as your father. I believe he understands your situation more than any of us. Naruto undoubtedly told himself 1,000 times what he said to you before, as nasty as it seemed. Inari was unsure of how to feel at the moment. Maybe he underestimated the blonde with the whiskered face. But was he ready to trust someone else again? Let alone someone strong enough to take down Gato. He doesn't want anything to happen to anybody else as it did to his father. He just wishes he could reclaim his lost bravery before it's too late. If something is genuinely essential to you, if it's heartbreaking, even if it's tragic, you keep on trying and trying. Even if you lose your life, you carry on guarding it with these two arms. Then, even if you die, you will have left behind evidence that you are a man, for all time. What am I supposed to do, 2-chan? What would you do? Inari pondered, a tear streaming down his already tear-streaked face. Tomorrow. Zabuza apprentice Haku, who had been tending Zabuza's wounds for the previous few days, was now sitting by his bedside as he recovered from his fight with Kakashi. Haku had also been guarding him from Gato, who had arrived with his two one-toed samurai goons Tsurai and Waraji the day before. When Gato attempted to touch Zabuza while he was incapacitated, Haku shattered his arm and swiftly overpowered Tsurai and Waraji before fleeing. Gato had warned that Haku would pay for breaking his arm. Haku saw the brightness of the early morning sun shining through the window as Zabuza slept in his bed. Because Zabuza was still asleep and it was so early in the morning, Haku decided to go buy additional herbs to cure Zabuza's ailments. Haku started to quietly exit the room after quickly changing into a pink sleeveless, low-cut kimono with light red borders and little plum-colored swirls. But before Haku could depart, Zabuza, who had awoken, spoke out. Haku, where are you going? Forgive me for awakening you, Zabuza-sama. It wasn't my purpose to wake you. I was simply going out to harvest herbs to assist cure your injuries. Haku swiftly turned back after hearing Zabuza's voice. HMPH. Fine, but don't go on for too long. Later. Haku had collected all of the essential plants to help treat Zabuza after an hour and a half, but it was just before Haku could start walking back. The user of the ice release notices some trees that seem to have been hacked down. Haku decided to explore more and traveled up to where the cut trees were, where she saw a white area with numerous more trees that had been chopped down by what seemed to be a single cutting slash. Haku knows a bit about swordsmanship after training with a former member of the Kiri no Shinobi Katana Shichinin SH. As a result, Haku understood that whomever did it was capable of chopping down a massive tree with a single slash. When Haku looked around the area, she spotted many enormous holes on the earth, as if pounded by someone or something. Haku also noted numerous huge dry areas of grass and flowers, all of which seemed to be brown and shriveled, as if all of the moisture had been taken from them. After witnessing this, Haku observed a person resting on the ground in the clearing, surrounded by a big patch of flowers. As Haku got closer, it appeared as if the flowers were prospering around him, as if they were becoming stronger as a result of being so near to him. When Haku approached the individual, she saw that the individual in issue was a young blonde-haired lad with a long katana. What drew Haku's attention was the Konoha headband that was wrapped around the boy's head. Did they ask for reinforcements? The Konoha shinobi, but not one of the ones that Zabuza-sama encountered when he battled Hatake Kakashi. If that's the case, why did they send a little kid, who seems to be the same age as Kakashi's genin? He must be part of another squad, and if so, he must be surrounded by others. Haku was concerned, since Kakashi was a formidable opponent to confront. I need to get rid of him right now, since given the status of this region, he certainly has some talent and might be a threat to our objective, Haku reasoned as she pulled a pair of senbon needles. However, before Haku could even try to attack Naruto, the young Hyoten user heard a moan from Naruto, and his eyelids slowly opened. When Haku saw this, she hurriedly placed the senbon needles away before Naruto fully awakened. Are you alright? Haku said as Naruto woke. Huh? Said Naruto, who had completely awakened and was looking straight up at Haku. As he brushed the sleep from his eye, Naruto questioned, Sorry, did you say something? I said, are you okay? I saw you on the ground and had no idea what was wrong with you, said Haku. Oh, apologies, I think I must have fell asleep during my training break last night, Naruto said, who was a bit embarrassed. You should be extra cautious, since sleeping on the ground outdoors can give you a cold or make you sick, Haku cautioned. Nah, I'm well, I've never been ill in my life, Naruto said. Haku just nodded and rose up, but as he did so, he spotted the basket full of plants next to him. Oh. Are you a herbalist who collects medicinal plants? Haku only nodded at first, somewhat shocked that Naruto knew the plants were for healing. Yeah, a friend of mine had an accident, and I was gathering some herbs to help treat him, Haku said half-truthfully. Hearing this, Naruto just nodded and went back to looking through the herb basket. You seem to have a sizable herb collection for treating injuries. There's one you're missing, however, that would be pretty beneficial. What would it be? Haku inquired, her eyes wide with wonder. Here I show you, it's not a difficult plant to locate, Naruto said as he led Haku to some trees and started searching for the plant. While searching for the plant, Haku and Naruto began to converse. Tell me Naruto-san, how is it that you know so much about herbs for healing and medicine? Haku said as the two conversed. I like reading a lot about medicine and how to help people, he says. Haku nodded in agreement since it made logic, and the young Hyoten user found it intriguing as well. Naruto eventually discovered the herb he was seeking for and presented it to Haku. The plant was a little weed-like plant with small white blossoms on the top. This is aloe, Naruto said, and it's a fantastic plant for healing wounds and injuries, as well as a good digestive aid for treating menstrual cramps, and as a moderate sedative. He then went on to explain how to transform it into medication properly. Naruto assisted Haku in gathering additional weeds and placing them in the basket after showing him the plant. Tell me Naruto-san, do you have anybody valuable to you, someone you would want to protect? Haku said, jolting Naruto out of his stupor. Naruto paused for a bit before responding, I have my older brother, Anko, Ino, and my team. Haku smiled a bit at this, for it was evident by the way Naruto talked about them that he really cared about them all. What makes you ask? Well, I feel that when a person has something vital to defend, that's when they may really become powerful, Haku said, and Naruto couldn't help but agree. Haku had acquired enough milfoil and chose to return to Zabuza soon after. I guess I've spoken enough, thank you for your assistance, Naruto-san, it's been pleasant talking to you, Haku said. It was wonderful talking to you Haku, but I'm curious about Zabuza. With a smirk on his face, Naruto inquired nonchalantly. Haku froze in place, turning to face the blonde. She wanted to move, but couldn't move a muscle. What is this? Why can't I move? I don't want to hurt him, all I want to do is give him another opportunity to destroy Yagura, the fourth Mizukage, Naruto said before dissipating his paralyzing Sharingan jutsu. Thanks for listening. I do hope you enjoyed. If you want the next part of this video, like, subscribe and comment down below, and turn on the bell notification. And also check out other videos that I have created and enjoy. See you in the next video. Peace.